Welcome back, everyone, to ESL One Hamburg 2018. Day one is underway with two titans clashing head-to-head. EG have taken first blood, but Secret are still in the game. It is a best of two, and we'll find out shortly how they get on. Quick mention for you as well. We've got all the usual paraphernalia, all the usual fun stuff going on, as you'd expect at ESL One, including the vote for the MVP, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, of course, winning a car. Which one of Virtus Pro's players will win this time, might be the question you can ask. And if you're like me and you're bloody useless at remembering stuff, and you know, Canada, I mean, I'm old, so it's, you know, I'm rambling now because I'm old. And then anyway, head over to the link that you saw below, and you can register right now, and then you'll get notified when it opens, which is tomorrow after the second day of games. Anyway, let's move on because I'm old.
It's a good idea. Moving
on,
on,
I have to remember all that, and it's hard. It's difficult to remember so much stuff when you're 116.
I'd like to get in onto that raffle. I saw it.
Dude, there's a personalised model Mercedes in that raffle.
I mean,
a personalised one.
I saw there's also a chair from McDonald's. I mean,
yeah.
McDonald's sponsoring the chair. Do you think Ronald McDonald signs it? That's the real question.
I think the bigger question is where is the Hamburglar?
He's here, I believe.
You pronounced
in
it
Hamburg.
correctly.
I got it right this time. God, have we been practicing that for days now?
Don't ruin the magic, Paul.
Giving away, you know, top secrets here. We're going to get into our second drive very shortly. Gents, what are you expecting? A different lineup, obviously, this time for Secret, because that didn't work.
It was certainly what one might call experimental. I mean, it was a very open draft. Like when you open with AA, Shaker, Ogre, that's a little odd.
It is, and it kind of made sense to pick A because of the IO, but it was like one of those things where it's like a late game counter kind of, but not really a laning counter. So it opened up all these like laning weaknesses, whereas another hero wouldn't have had been as weak there.
Yeah, and I mean Wyvern, right? Am I crazy? Wyvern was not.
Didn't get touched,
like,
right?
That's like the most common.
Did it not get banned in the first phase on one side? Because we didn't see all the bans,
so.
did we?
It was the Enigma, right?
Let me double check. I should
double check.
Is it that great against Gyro? Because he still does do a lot of magic. Yeah, you can ulti. You can ulti the IO, and the IO could die or whatever.
Yeah,
but
no, it was not banned out.
No, it wasn't banned out at all. Draft is underway, so we're going to drop you into that. Quick note as well for those of you following the other matches or not following the other matches. Those matches are underway. Alliance, by the way, against Mineski. Absolute dominant performance by Alliance. 29-7 in kills. A 32k gold lead after 29 minutes in that one. And I have to say, Mineski didn't get the draft memo in that one because Alliance basically drafted exactly what they've been drafting for the last month and a half with the Earth Spirit, the Brood, Mirana, Monkey King, and Trin. So really surprised, really, that they actually
seen that
the
game before. I can tell you how it works. Koidman plays Brood in the mid lane. He goes from Ancient Camp to Ancient Camp. No one else comes mid. Insania sits as Train Protector between the enemy team and whatever person is farming. That is how that strat works. They're very good at it.
It's like you watch the match, Trent. Yeah. I don't understand how Mineski have not got the memo on that.
And then they just set up all these arrow combos that are like slightly creative, and you're like, oh, cool. And that's
they
5
just win
seconds
games.
done. All right, you won.
The Pain Vici game is still
that's
ongoing.
That's also on as well. That's on Stream B. That game has ended in first game. Game 2 hasn't started just yet. Or rather, game 1 has not finished in the VG Pain game.
It's just about over, I'll let you know.
It's almost over. VG with the advantage in that one. But yeah, you can go and check it out. That's on Stream B, and Alliance Mineski game 2 will be coming up on Stream C very shortly. Alliance dominating in our first game. Let's get into the draft then. With the first pick, Ogre this time round for EG.
All right, highest rated picks, Abaddon. Is that real?
What?
Well, this is our fancy new technology, actually, which I don't believe has been brought up yet.
We haven't used this. Let me just explain a little bit about this. Our friends at SAP have provided us with an intelligent being, a bot,
and this
who is picking based on win rates and popularity,
and probably what's currently on the board. I was thinking that was like your like when the draft starts, these are the heroes, and I was blown away. But against Ogre, Abaddon is actually really good because if Ignite is used, you just instantly dispel it, and then you don't get all this damage advantage. So it actually would make sense here.
Yeah. So we're gonna get the SAP view as well as our experts and see how they compare as they go through the time. It's gonna be a bit of fun to look at and see what they think. So right now they're saying the highest rated picks based on what EG have got and based on what Secret have picked against it would be these three: Enchantress, Treant, and a Naga. So please don't pick them.
Look at the smile on Bulba's face right now. Just look at him. He's like, look at these guys. He's like trying to pick this thing out. He's like, he sees this axe. He just wants to dumpster this stupid axe. He's like, don't cut my waves. Curious if they indeed think the Bane is necessary. I'm gonna feel like they'll probably go with something else. I don't think EG's the type to run Ogre Bane.
Interesting bans this summer as well, because Morph we knew about because he's just bloody amazing with it. And then the Brood and the Enigma this time around. They banned TB second stage last time as well, which we also know that EG don't want to play against, and they know how good Nisha is.
Yeah. Yeah, Nisha has carried many a game on Morph and TB. Taking a very long time here. Not that common to get into your reserve time really on the 4th overall pick, but obviously you can take something here, get a couple bans, maybe try and see exactly how you can deal with it, and they'll take the TB for themselves. That allows them to like maybe ban out that PL that's looked pretty good. Just the TB, especially with the change to Sunder now costing mana later in the game.
I was happy with that.
Yeah,
that little nerf.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Like the fact that he had 0 mana cost Sunder and he got 5-second Sunder cooldown was just like, yeah. So if you don't have stuns, you lose, basically, is what it felt like.
So Rubik Axe opener for Secret. And not something they've opened with an awful lot in, since TI, that's for sure. But they've played a fair bit of Rubik in just the one game of Axe so far in officials.
That was part of the finals, right? They were playing some Axe there with Puppy. I believe played a couple times too. So they certainly know what they're doing.
Against Navi, when they had Dendi playing.
Yes, that too. Yeah, but they used it in the grand finals at PvP, and it did look very strong because Puppy's just doing his thing. Yeah. And he was different because Envy, when he first started doing the support Axe, he had a great idea with maxing the Battle Hunger, but I think it's pretty clear at this point. Like Puppy showed that maxing the spin is actually generally going to be more successful because you can snowball faster with Blink Dagger, you can cut waves, obviously, which Envy can't do. Envy was much more of a lane bully.
Kunkka Weaver game, right? Kunkka Weaver, Axe, Rubik, and...
I'm not sure.
I think I watched that game, yeah. It was last time they did it. But it does work out pretty well.
Yeah, in the grand finals for like game 2, yeah. That was one of the games where they had it. Indeed, it looks like.
Just gave them lots of lockdown potential, and the laning felt fine. It was like you got decent levels, and it just felt like you had an Axe for free on your team, kind of.
Obviously, this time around, the Wisp is banned by Secret. They've also banned out the Tiny and the Drow. We've seen an awful lot of Drow in the last 4 weeks, that's for sure. Yeah, the highest rated bans this time around from SAP. So
2 out of 3 pushing heroes. Still the Chen there, but we're seeing Lycan picked up differently.
Yeah, and Lycan has been a very popular pick for Evil Geniuses.
I'd also be curious how fast they can update to small buffs and nerfs. Like even something small like a little nerf to a TB or to TB Sunder mana cost. Does that open up and make Lycan even better because of Necro Mana Drain, for example? Like it could really cascade things and make it even better than was stated here, for example. There hasn't been that many games since that patch happened. That was like, what, a week and a half ago or something like that?
Yeah,
so
not very much.
Maybe even a better pick to grab Lycan. And I think Lycan is still one of the highest win rate heroes. At least high MMR pub games, Lycan still has a huge win rate.
There's a lot of those Lycan specialties, that's for sure.
A Zeus ban.
Yeah, I think these are our big TB heroes these days. Ember being one of the other ones left in the pool, and a Secret Classic, so that is something that Secret has to look forward to, I would say.
Yep.
For mid one. I do like the Phoenix ban they went for too.
Could be Epsor too. Oh, I guess there's Rubik, but...
The Epsor Ember?
I was saying Zeus.
Okay.
Like,
I see what you're saying.
As long as you put Zeus in the lane against TB, like TB's gonna not be too happy, but...
Just got me really excited for some position 4 Ember or something. You're about to drop some knowledge on me right there.
I don't know if that one's really...
Yaps or Ember, that would be fun.
Hey, he made the TB work that one time when Reflection was still insanely broken, so...
I don't think I saw that one. He played support
he played
TV.
support TV. Yeah. They like first phase and then just gave him, but...
I want to say Liquid also did it.
Probably.
Kuro, I think.
It was really broken.
TV.
Kuro has done support Arc Ward.
Yeah, no,
that one was very good.
That was a bizarre game.
That one can almost work. It kind of makes sense.
It was
ESL One
nerfed
Birmingham,
too. I don't know. This was a while ago, the one I'm thinking of, at least.
Okay. I know he did some funky stuff in the group stages at ESL One Birmingham. I think he was trying to add to his most played list.
Yeah. Okay, that one was really easy.
By adding a few more.
That one quiz, I was like, it's got to be Kuro. It's playing every single role.
You're talking about the ESL One quiz. Yeah, that was definitely the easiest answer. Because you kind of go, oh, I don't know. No, the obvious answer must be obvious.
Yeah, I didn't even give it the second thought. I was like, oh, Kuro? Okay, I'll gamble on that one.
That's exactly what I did.
Not confident, but pretty sure.
All 5 bans done for both teams as we head into the second phase of the picks. And what's interesting from Secret this time around?
Well, they're kind of damage weak right now with potential support Axe and a Rubik, so having a Reaper Scythe on top of that is going to be good.
Yeah. It's been relatively popular.
It's also a really good way to counter Sunder in a lot of ways. Like, when he gets low, that's when you Reaper Scythe him anyway, so it's like his window of staying alive now. He might have to blow a kind of crappy Sunder just to keep his HP a lot closer to full.
It kind of makes you want to think about Dazzle even. I mean, obviously there's Culling Blade, but there's that issue of the whole Dazzle versus the Axe we've talked about a few times, depending on how it looks. They'll go with the Necro counter in the Lina. The Batrider's still in if it looks good after this last pick, which has been one of the most commonly picked heroes versus Necrophos too.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for him. What about Oracle? I don't know if I guess they don't really have that much space for it. And Puppy's probably or I'm sorry, I'm thinking about EG. But maybe Oracle against Secret could be good too.
Yep. Yeah, same logic. Good reasons.
You
Much better
Battle
against
Hunger too.
Yes, definitely.
Is there a CN gonna pop up here?
It's possible. I saw some players talking about it, social media and stuff
Secret,
like that.
One of those
saying,
teams that have been playing it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of mana. Mana just helps a lot right now. It helps you win your lanes. It's like all of these other supports got nerfed enough where CM is actually pretty okay again. I mean, she didn't even get nerfed. She was almost a top pick at TI. She was still like up there, but her recent mana cost increase nerf to Crystal Nova was just a little too much to make her that top pick. So it's like, and she hasn't gotten a nerf, I don't think, in these last couple rounds. So it's like she's kind of like back there to #1 again almost.
Yes, for sure. Come back for the
Rana's been very strong in a lot of these like
widely
online
picked,
matches.
isn't it? Seems to be unregion locked as well. Popular in SEA, popular in NA, popular in EU.
Yep, it's just a combo of just having good arrow setups on a lot of the current heroes right now.
Okay, so now we get the EG
you're gonna have to walk me
overview
through
now.
this.
Okay, all right. So any green links between heroes is a good thing because it signifies that they are connected in some way. In other words, they're synergistically very good.
I love this.
And work well together within the draft that they've made.
And then
So what you want there is 5 of them. You want 5 linked heroes. That's what
and then the other one looked like threat level, and it basically reflected what we said, which was TV's weak to Necro, and we didn't mention that Lina is apparently weak to Mirana. But I mean, if you get arrowed, you have low HP, definitely burstable. So this looks now like it's gonna be a Lina support instead of a core. Very likely Dragon Knight mid. Could be off lane, never know, but most likely mid. I think one thing Secret does really like about Mirana as well is just arrowing catapults. Like I watched one of the games they played against maybe Fnatic or something like that, and they just picked all these lanes where they could like anti-push constantly. It was like Tree and Mirana. It was like every creep wave, just arrow the catapult.
I love the active synergy between Secret players. 0% right now.
There's a lot of threat level going on.
There's a lot of threat level going on in there.
Threat level midnight. This is great. I'm loving this.
We'll see it once we get all 5.
Can't wait to predict who's going to win this game, Paul. I think I know. I see some more threats on one side.
At this point, I'm just happy I'm not on the panel to do that.
So they have the final pick is Secret this game, correct? I believe because we just had our DK, so EG's going to get their 5th now.
And then
after bans.
After bans.
So that'll determine if this is going to be our Dragon Knights, or sorry, our Lina support or Lina core offlane. I know a lot of players have been kind of toying with the idea of like the 3 Lina.
That's true.
I think it works very well in a sort of like a 3.5 scenario too, where like maybe you have this person who starts off really strong but then falls off. Like I think Batrider's kind of a good example. Like he needs a lot of that farm early on to get blink and stuff, but if you're a good position 4 that can actually take over some of that space, it can be better for you in the mid game than maybe the Batrider.
Yeah, whereas if it was Alina doing it, then she would have to basically just be split pushing constantly, and then she's not going to be there for games. Yeah, which she kind of needs to be with their lineup.
Like Secret have already made their decision. Puppy and Sunby doing the drafting. Headsets were off. They were done. So I guess they've figured out what they're going to do. Sam, on the other hand, aka Bulba, is still in discussion with the rest of his team.
Are they going to like Huskar this game or something?
It's been on the threat, hasn't it? All the way through.
They picked it multiple times in their last tournament for Anisha. Some of the games went well.
You may have seen the SAP predictions as well. That also had a Huskar in there. Not quite now.
It was so confident in Pudge and Lycan. It's like there are no other heroes. Nothing else is acceptable.
That was a strength hero. That's what it was trying to tell us. Yeah. It doesn't matter what they are. Just
pick something red.
Yes.
So what do they have right now? They have very strong structure push and objective taking between Terrorblade, Lina, and Dragon Knight. It's actually kind of insane. All bloodlusted. That's a lot of damage. I would kind of like another initiator probably. So probably going to be an offlane core, I would guess, here for EG, and put the Lina as position 4 support. I don't think Nyx is good enough anymore. It's probably just, okay, we'll go position 4 initiator in the Earth Spirit. Team fight in the bag.
I tell you what, that's been an alliance staple for the last 4 weeks. They're one of the few teams that really picked Earth Spirit a lot. And there's got to be something to it. And maybe EG have decided that's the case.
I think it's a little unusual. Like, I assume it's going to be
pick 5 like that.
Yeah, I'm curious as to who the core is going to be in the lane with the Earth Spirit. I can assume it's the Lina, but that seems a bit odd.
So CCNC plays DK, Crit on the Spirit, you'd think? Yes? No?
Yeah, that would be my assumption. Then S4 on the Lina.
I mean, it's not the most synergistic, but it's fine. Like, you can still rolling Boulder into stun. You can still Boulder Smash into stun. There's options, and there's a lot of damage, and it's a good, also, it's a frontliner. Like, Earth Spirit's semi-tanky. He's
and it's
maybe an Order Venom. Yeah, I think he's going to be fine. Yeah.
You could theoretically do Lina and Earth Spirit as supports too, actually, because you have double setup between, like, even just like Reflection Slow is set up for stuns and stuff too. I'm curious.
Ogre
yeah, like Ogre is the 3, and like he just builds auras and stuff and facilitates the early push.
Okay, here's the SAP review of this one. As you can see, lots of synergy on the EG side, lots of good threat as well over on the Team Secret side. Absolutely zero synergy.
No synergy. Wow. Wow. You've heard it here first. Disband has been assumed. They are done. The synergy is out.
I don't even need to be able to speak English or know heroes or read to understand. There's a lot of green on the left and a lot of red on the right. It's obvious EG is going to win this game.
Okay, good. Thank you.
There was a Monkey King last pick.
Forget it. Green, red.
Oh, okay. I'll take red. Which team was that?
Okay.
Perfect. I think I'm secret. Am I a secret?
I think Trent's secret.
Okay, sure.
That's what Trent just he lives on the edge. What can I say? So one for each team. Let's find out as we head into game number 2 as we return back to our commentary desk with Blitz and Cat.
No synergy, high threat level, secret strap. Surely there's more to it than that. Blitz, fortunately, I've got a very accomplished co-caster here with me. Do you make a little bit more out of Secret's lineup than the than our overlay tells us?
I think Secret's lineup's okay. I kind of agree that I don't know where things are supposed to go, but I think they have a good mix of things. They have ways to clear out the wave. They have playmakers. They have the ability to gank. They can rotate. It's a little bit better. I do think I like EG's lineup a little bit more. It's probably like, I'd imagine it is S4 offlane, right? Because I don't think they're doing Ogre or Lina offlane, So, I think it depends on how that mid matchup goes more than anything.
The Lina versus the mid one Monkey King mid. Yeah. Because it is going to be right now. It is CCNC playing the Lina. No, we have offlane S4 DK.
Maybe you swap lanes and mid one top.
You don't want Monkey King versus Lina, right? And you're going to want either the Mirana matched up against that or the Necrophos.
And Nisha's a mid player, preferably. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. So everything should end up kind of as expected. One of the good things that Secret has is they have the Puppy Axe, which I feel like has done pretty well for itself. I feel like Puppy was the first person who really won me over when it came to the support axe.
I was like, he was the first one to do it, because that would be taking credit away from
Jackie Mao.
Yeah.
Yes. But he was the first person who, because the way Jackie Mao has been playing it, right, has been like a lot more sacrificial, has been more of, I'm going to win the laning phase and like I'm going to snowball off of that. He doesn't actually spend a whole lot of time farming, even recently, despite the fact that Puppy showed like the success of his version of support axe at the Vegas LAN. Again, Jackie Mao never had his team create space for him to be able to jungle. So we end up with like a 25-minute Blink Dagger. So if you don't have a strong laning phase, it doesn't look quite as good. Puppy isn't as reliant on that because he has, especially if you look at this draft, right, a relatively active roster that's going to be able to create space for him. He's going to go around 12, 15 minutes. He's just going to spend like a solid block of time farming jungle.
I think if you can stop thinking about offlane axes or support axes just axe, like it kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You've got a support that pierces BKB.
A BKB piercing disable initiating tool. Like that sounds amazing.
You also have a very good nuke in Battle Hunger.
You're sort of an anti-carry once you get the Blade Mail, turning a carry's damage back onto himself. That's a very unique concept that pretty much very few supports can do for you, right? It's like maybe Winter's Curse or something.
I mean, he fights well against other supports because when you have hunger and you find somebody in open space, they can't really do anything about it, especially other supports.
Oh, it's a pretty cool camera shot. Our Banner Mutants are, well, the roll in. They are going to be able to secure this one. Evil Geniuses managed to get 3 out of 4 of them, and Secret will have to bounce back and claim the 1.
Run crit.
Grab. So crit, it does mean he's going to be forced to TP and blow healing salve at the start, but those bounty runes are worth those kind of exchanges, right?
Of course. Your team all gets some gold. Whereas the enemy team gets none gold.
Oh,
It's opportunity cost as well.
wow.
Oh, and also it is Mirana mid versus the Lina, which
Yeah.
should be pretty expected, honestly. It doesn't really matter. Like, Dota is a pretty positionless game nowadays, or it should be, or
Right.
you should be able to move people around based on what the situation is.
What do you think about this aggro dual lane? I'm not super convinced by it. Like, Rubik with certain heroes paired up, like, he makes the duo look pretty good. But I'm not convinced by Rubik Necro.
Necro can't get kills, but you harass.
Yeah.
The annoying thing about Necro is, like, he just is annoying by being alive. It's kind of like you.
Thank you, William. Our duo synergy is off to a marvelous start here. Roll away, crit's gonna be good. Pulling the creep wave all the way back. You do not want to have that that matchup of Monkey King versus a melee hero. So they're gonna try and get the creep equilibrium to their favor as much as possible to offset that obvious advantage for Secret.
A lot of pros think that it's hard to counter TB right now. Just seems like a very overwhelming hero in a lot of ways.
I mean, that was part of the reason that they fly. Try and interrupt the pull as best as possible. That's part of the reason they picked up the Terrorblade after the Axe, right? It's like if the Axe does this creep cutting thing as a core, Terrorblade's you were the one who said this in the van, right?
Yeah.
You're a hero that can actually farm under tower and stuff.
Fly.
Deals with the harassment really well. Fly.
Even though you're bigger.
It's going to take a lot of magic damage here. Almost going to die. They just need one more shot. That'll come from Yapzor rather than our Necrophos. First blood still.
Blood level 1. Come on, Fly.
Just running around as an ogre, man. Speedy little ogre.
Just mid lane. I mean, Crit's thinking about it. He's invis, but I don't really know what his options are for actually getting kills. That seems a little bit complicated.
Yeah,
as
you need
lane.
level 3. They are going to be able to finally pick up a kill for the Monkey King. I feel like that's just inevitable, right? It's Monkey King versus a melee hero. You're not going to have a great time if you're evil geniuses.
Yeah, the annoying part is that they can't even lane swap.
Mm-hmm.
That's normally what you do, but it's not like you want the TV down there either.
Yeah. So it seems like Secret made a significant effort to get a good start for their laning phase this time around. It seems like they're going to win, maybe, like guaranteed they're going to win that bottom lane. And then both mid and top can be won. So they're going to kill bottom lane again, maybe, as for chased away. Forced to blow through a lot of regen, and the creep wave is still pushing forward.
This mid lane's going pretty decently for CCNC, as well as the top lane, but it's not like they're shutting off farm that hard. So far, they do have 2 kills on their side.
A lot of harassment being placed on RTZ right here, but Fly trying to create the space by just going and bonking Zai over the head over and over again. Zai obviously has a lot of regen to work with, though.
TP out from the Earth Spirit is. That's what I'm talking about. Can't really do much as the Axe against the Axe. Once you're in open space, you're not getting hunger off of you, so.
Zai, he does have Fairy Fire, will be able to live a little bit longer. Arteezy is pretty low here. They turn around, manage to get some shots, and that's enough. Yapzor picks up the kill, and Zai popping the other Fairy Fire will live.
Oh, look
in
at
fact,
this
he's
dance
got another
doing.
round of his nuke. That'll make sure he's going to get close to Fly first. Manage to get the nuke to follow Fly. They find him, and if they get the kill to Necrophos, this would be really big. Get all that regen to Zai. No meta on Arteezy, so he's not going to come back and be a threat whatsoever.
Yeah.
This
And he
is
gets the nuke. It's just a pretty rough top lane.
Yeah, and it's a rough bottom lane. Oh, Zai, maybe he underestimated the power of melee Terrorblade. S4 is going to give away a stack to mid 1 once again. They'll probably take a big physical damage nuke as a result.
Yeah. DK is level 4 though.
Yeah, he is getting levels.
Like, this is the trade-off right now, is that he just kind of runs in lane, dies, and then resets himself. So I don't think this is the worst thing in the world for either offlaner. And if you look at it, the DK somehow has more CS than the Necro too. Like, I don't know quite how that's happening.
Good kick, roll in. That'll be Yapzor down. Zai won't really have to leave because he's got good regen, can fight anybody he wants to. Puppy should be able to slow down Fly here with a Battle Hunger. A Tau Fly's going to be able to get away.
Fly, go get a creep. Just take off Battle Hunger, lol.
That is, Battle Hunger is an insane ability right now. You get one of those axes that gets off to a good start, whether it's support or core, and gets level 2 Battle Hunger. Oh, what a pain. So pretty much it's just our mid matchup that's going to go okay here for Evil Geniuses, 31-6 compared to the 24-7 of Nisha's Mirana. But you don't need to win this mid matchup if you're the Mirana, right?
No, as long as you just kind of trade out.
Yeah, as long as you don't die to Lina getting Laguna Blade.
It's a weird matchup though, because as soon as Lina gets Shadow Blade, it's so hard for Mirana to play.
Yeah.
You just die.
Why do you think that our matchup actually had the Mirana as a threat to Lina?
Oh,
Kick back, that's a good one. With the meta pop, Zai is going to be forced to use his Ghost Route here. Does have enough to be able to survive, but all they want to be able to do is win this lane, mid lane. Oh, CCNC Nisha! I can't believe he went for that one creep. Yapzor gonna get a good telekinesis toss back there, trying to get the distance away from RTZ to make sure he can't get those long range, heavy damage shots. Everyone will survive on the side of Secret, and they have a shrine to play off of. So it's like that entire game grid just didn't happen. They're gonna reset, go back in, metamorphosis down, probably continue to dominate that lane.
At bottom, you see S4. He's just going to breathe fire the wave out. This is how he's trying to be effective, get some CS. And I think DK versus Monkey King in mid's not bad because you can just spam Fire Blast, and on top of that, you have the natural armor. So you're just reducing Monkey King's potential damage output anyways. It's a bit different when you have the DK or the Axe there because the Axe forces you out of lane and then you get free hits to cop.
It's also different in the side lane, right? Such a long lane is kind of problematic. Right, it just gives you more chasing room for the Monkey King to get those shots, to get those stacks up. Whereas mid lane, at least it's small enough that you can either get back to your tower before he gets the stacks, or at least he can't get shots off after he gets the 4 Jingu stacks. Arteezy, a bit low here in this top lane. At what point does this man, okay, telekinesis pull back in, and he's dead.
He's just dead.
At what point does he start, okay, nice kill, CC&C, offsetting things a little bit.
I mean, if
you have to jungle at some point, right, if you're Terrorblade?
And that's the best part is that TB jungle so fast that it doesn't matter if his laning phase is a little bit off.
They're going to kill Fly as well here. Secret trying to do something similar to what we saw last game, where Evil Geniuses pressure with this aggro tri-lane and then, in turn, try and take that offlane tower as soon as possible.
It's weird, though, that they said that Mirana is a threat to Lina. I guess, like, you could potentially get kills if you hit arrow, but that's the case with a lot of heroes.
Even with, like, your BKB timing on Mirana, where you just, like, go and try and fight the Lina, she's so fast and stuff that...
Oh. CCNC finally gets the benefit of having a regen rune.
It's denied him. Dragon Tail stun, S4. Always forced to use something.
Oh.
Okay.
S4.
S4 getting
that was
a little
ambitious.
Greedy. Thought he was going to go for a bit of a, I guess he was hoping to be able to pull creep wave.
My guy. Respect him. Oh, they are making the rotation in. Nobody's mid, though. This might be a little bit obvious because nobody's showing on the map right now. I really like that overplay, by the way. Shout out to JJ and Layerth for the double swing. It's cool, too, over the icon and everything.
Makes it super obvious who's smoked, too. Sometimes it's a little...
Yeah, I think the purple...
Especially once you start getting Shadow Blade heroes, CC&C will be able to follow up that stun from Flying Laguna Blade.
Oh.
Good gank for Evil Geniuses.
You see what CC&C did there, by the way, to ensure the kill? He nuked first, so that...
he got more attack speed stacks.
No, it's so that the Monkey King, if he sees them break from fog in the tree line, he can't just hop onto the trees and get out.
Right.
He guaranteed that there was damage on him to start. Just like the little things like that. I would have just gone for it, right?
Yeah. I see what you mean. Puppey gonna be caught trying to make his way into the enemy jungle. Moonlight Shadow's just not gonna go off fast enough. Sure, as expected though, Terrorblade is gonna be forced to give up that top lane to just go jungle S4. Since that lane is open, he will now be the guardian of that top safe lane tower. Better for him than being matched up. Oh, Nisha trying to get the kill on CC&C. That would be a big one. The arrow it is gonna land. Gets the vision. And Nisha claims the kill. It's so important that this carry of Secret does manage to win this mid lane and get some kills on this lane. If they can actually do that, then they pretty much won all 3 lanes. Jump in here in the top lane, does turn around, manage to get the Dragon Tail, and the follow-up stun there from the Earth Spirit as well, and mid one is low enough that he cannot continue to pursue and fight. But Zai does have his ultimate, he's going to be able to hit it onto the Dragon Knight. That'll be enough. to get that extra death timer in.
Did you get the execution?
Yeah.
Okay. It looked like he didn't. But he's dead for 40, so I guess.
Yeah, yeah, this early on.
40 seconds isn't that long. It's only been like 10 minutes in the game. It's like a quarter of the game, no problem.
And that's some real NA master. Crit. He's gonna die as well. Oh, nice kick away. Heartstopper Aura? Maybe not, but mid one is a little bit faster. Crit's gonna have to get into the trees here, juke his way out of here, but mid one, tried to do a little loop-de-loop, but he can't make it out.
The creeps just blocked him for half a second.
Oh, that's rough.
Good chase though by the MK. He's got face boots.
Yeah. Secret. Glad to see that they are coming back strong here in this game too, after what was probably a rough game one to play out. Already having a 3,000 gold lead and taking the early tower.
You can always tell when a team's ahead when you don't get that tower trade-off.
Yeah. It's like, who do you... If you're evil geniuses, the tower trade-off would be you have to bring the Terrorblade down there. Here's that kill from Nisha, using the Light Shadow to get the positioning.
I like the slow-mo.
The growling of Mirana's mount. Sagan, I believe. I know. Slacks is probably all on that lore.
Excellent.
Our Monkey King is top net worth right now. Terrorblade, surprisingly, is not too far behind him at 4,900, and CCNC's Lina is pretty close too. But then the advantage, of course, being Yapsor has some good levels and pretty good gold, thanks to that aggro dueling, being able to claim a couple of kills. Get a little CS here and there. He's now, because he's level 7, he's got a nice double nuking combo. And this is something that, you know, we brought up, we were talking about in between game 1 and game 2, is that, you know, it's just, you have such a great playmaking forward position in Yapsor. Like, you want to see him on something that can farm and get items and make plays.
Yeah, I mean, last game, he was playing an AA. Like, you want something that can push out the wave so that you can actually farm.
Yeah.
Like, you want to give Yapsor some spell that has some sort of creep wave clearing ability. Because this guy is such a game changer. Why wouldn't you want him to have items?
Yeah. And that's oftentimes why, like, Yapsor goes. The first thing he does is hunt for a hero that has some sort of creep clearing ability. So he could just do 1-2. Use that stolen ability and then use Phase Bolt. Instantly kill creep waves. Mid lane, big dive here. Monkey King is going to be able to get off of Wukong's command, though. Stuck in middle of it is going to be our Dragonite. He's going to be left behind. Evil Geniuses realized that this push was a bit of a folly. Team Secret have an excellent lineup to be able to set up and defend.
Did you see what S4 tried doing there the last second?
No.
He tried Quelling Blade eating the tree to try to guess. He was just to the left.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm probably dead here, guys, but I'll do this one favor for you.
If he could have stunned the Monkey King, dropped him down from that tree, then maybe Lina follows up and they could have at least had an even exchange. As it is, that's a Dragonite ultimate down and very little damage done to that mid-tier 1 tower. Actually stealing a dragon form on Vic. Oh, nice setup. That was a cute play from Secret.
Oh, that was beautiful.
During nighttime, being able to get that boundless strike so far away that CCNC really wouldn't be able to react, and then leaping to the side to be able to get the arrow angle outside of that range creep.
They don't really need the stun, they only need the damage.
Yeah.
They were able to get it.
As a result, there's nobody there to be able to protect that mid-tier 1 tower.
Yeah,
Hold
this
the creep
is looking
wave
like
off,
the reverse of last game. There is a bit of a change though, just because I think EG have better ways to catch and they have more setups.
Okay.
They also have counters to the axe. Like, even if it goes Blade Mail and Blink Dagger, you've got the Lina on the with the Yule Scepter. As the arrow flies out.
Bound strike into arrow again.
Oh, this is really interesting that they're willing to just rotate the MK, but he can do so because he won Midas. It's a bit of an unconventional item build, but I think it works because he's going for more of this roaming style.
and he's just entirely able to play off map while still keeping his levels and net worth relatively even. He's going to be able to hit another stun here. The arrow this time will not land. CC&C, though, is going to be hit by the slows. The jump in from the Monkey King. Nisha is going to be able to pursue. Manage to hit the Star Storm. S4 takes a lot of magic damage. Almost immediately has to be careful to Reaper's sight, but now a good stun coming in from Crit. Managed to get the ultimate off as well with the follow-up silence. Zai is going to be chased a bit. S4 has a Dragon Tail coming up soon with the slow going down. They are going to be able to just chain stun him to death and allow Arteezy to mock up that kill. Nisha, oh, I love this boy, man. Going for that extra kill. Sure, it was a bad fight for Secret, but he makes the most of a bad situation.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that's funny.
I can't believe Yapzor's TPing into this. Oh, Yapzor.
Yapzor.
Yapzor, why? That was a dead tower, my friend.
I mean, at least he stored Dragon Form for 2 seconds before he gave up a 3rd kill.
I'm astonished by that one.
Does Yapzor have a Yules already? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, he's really farmed.
Yeah.
He's got like... He barely has less net worth than Zai in this game. Man, what a weird situation of events. I mean, it was a great TP by Arteezy. Transitioned that into the tower push. This is why the last game, like, even though the tower pattern follows the same suit, it's a bit different because they've got a TB.
Yeah.
TB is the...
Oh, the arrow! What a big pickup from Nisha, but now he's going to be Dragon Tail stunned. They do have the Wukong's command with Boundless Strike as well into Lina, making sure they get that kill. Nisha will be fine.
This combo.
This is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the space creating that just allows Puppey to get his Blink Dagger. These two are just running around killing everybody.
The Monkey King plus the Mirana, but what matters more is what you do against the TB. Eventually this TB is going to be such an issue, and you already see it right now. Like, all the while this happens, CCNC, he's going to die. Like, the person that pushes out the waves is almost always naturally, like, the scariest. It's like the hardest position to be in because, as we see here, the replay of Arteezy just getting the triple kill for her.
Nisha with the sneak around kill. Yeah, right. Zeros. The Boundless Strike arrow combos. Super effective for Secret. Really hard to play against that kind of like 1-2 long range setup.
If they're doing that, then somebody's got to get farm on the map too. Like, those are what we would call space creating deaths. The worst kind of deaths, like if you're a pub player and you're listening to this, the worst kind of deaths are the ones where you just die in your jungle, you get ganked, and you look and you see your other core is also just farming the jungle.
Yeah.
That means that there was no net gain on the map, pretty much. Nobody farmed the lanes, nobody was pressuring the map. All that happened was that you went and died. Which I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, there are good deaths in Dota. So like Pylai dies like the king of. He does a really good job of always pressuring a lane. So for example, if he was on Dire side right now, he'd be suicide pushing bottom. You'd send 3 heroes to deal with him in case somebody was behind. And all the while, you would create this almost like this, could draw on the map I'd show you. It's like this shield, a farm essentially. Like, you're the first wave of defense in case smoke kinks happen and stuff like that. That's how
it would just create space for
yeah,
this Terrorblade.
That's always been like a farm principle, is if you have a 5 hero that's not doing anything and you have like the absolute late game, or as we'd say, like the win condition, then you can just do that because it doesn't really matter, right? That's why they're playing so aggressively towards this bottom side of the map. They're trying to create it so that S4 tanks smoke ganks, so that you always have a wall in front of you at all times.
It's what Fly is doing right now, right? Like, he's trying to position himself pretty far forward, get information. They smoke gank into him rather than CC&C. Fantastic, but Secret don't want that, right? Secret don't want those kills. They want to be able to find Arteezy. Instead, they're going to have to get an Earth Spirit.
Yeah, look at this. Like, one support is always in front
of their core, right?
Yeah. And they're going to find Fly here for free too, but again, this is when you're behind like this, because I think EG's reading that they are behind for sure.
Yeah.
If you're behind like this, then you have to pretty much, somebody's got to die on the map.
But you can't get picked off so much like this. Evil Geniuses, not just losing their Spirit, but losing 2 more.
That was not a space creating. That was not a space creating death.
No, not at all. Now Nisha, once he gets that BKB, he is going to be kind of tough to deal with for the Lina and the Terrorblade.
As we were talking about good deaths and bad deaths, like the top death, not a bad death. That bottom death, definitely a bad death.
Yeah.
There's a very distinct difference between the two, as DK is going to finish his Blink Dagger around the same time as the Axe does, but I mean, both supports on the side of Secret are quite farmed.
Do you think that Evil Geniuses does have the clear late game advantage? Or, I mean, because there's still really good heroes, like Axe is a good initiator, you have this Reaper Sight that is always scary for a Terrorblade to play against. They have no defensive hero for Terrorblade in that regard, right?
I'm always afraid about playing... I think late game TB against these cores isn't going to have that bad of a time as
Crit's just not going to be able to find it. Trying to get the roll in, was hoping to be able to cut down the tree. Doesn't get any of it now. The Terrorblade does make his way out, but...
Ooh, I think once he saw the axe.
Yeah.
And continue to create space for RTZ. This is the correct way to do things.
Yeah, I'm sort of here to keep the wave pushed in, right? Just like,
look, he's very good at that.
Just 1-2 nuke the next creep wave. After all, he's got a Eul, so he's got tons of mana regen to do this kind of double spell casting all the time.
I think what the Euls does too for him more than anything is that it makes it so he can't die to solo kills.
Yeah. Like Lina can't set up very easily on him, stuff like that. Right.
You just Euls yourself after and then you get the lift almost always. That's where CCNC has to play like that game where he fakes out the stun.
Yeah.
Plus he's just trying to keep the illusions dead at all times. You hem them in.
I don't realize that is not a fake tree. That is one of the first times I've actually seen that piece successful.
What?
Oh. Wait, did he see,
Oh.
Huh. Oh, okay.
They got everything but.
Yeah. Puppy. Oh, what a call! Can they actually follow this up? What a big nuke damage with the Boundless Strike over the top as well. They are all dead on the side of Evil Geniuses. Woohoo, Puppy.
Go Roche.
Finds the perfect opportunity right outside the Roshan pit. And now it's going to be time for a free Aegis. All RTZ does immediately tries to push a tower, knowing that Secret are a bit preoccupied right now.
Oh, I don't. Switch back.
It's freaking you out a little bit.
I just couldn't tell anything that was happening. This tower's gonna get denied.
Seems like RTZ's illusions were not enough to kill the tower by itself. They farm a little bit on, I mean, Fly's Ogre is getting farm at bottom lane. That's not great. Look at this. Moonlight Shadow, Link, Call onto 2. And it's 2 of the best heroes, right? The 2 super squishy heroes that pretty much just died to the AoE nukes that came down. They got the Reaper Scythe extra kill.
Oh.
Okay. Monkey King.
Kind of wanted.
He's going to die again here. They're going to be able to get the roll. Instant damage onto mid one. Mid one can't really get his way out of here.
Manta dodge too.
Nice.
For the stun. I keep seeing Reddit posts. Like, I pull the RTZ and it's just Manta dodge stuff. They're immediately going to smoke up, even with the TB illusions. Plus one dead.
Why is this? Aren't they just going to go push into a tier 2?
That's what I thought.
It's just for positioning. They just want to be able to take advantage of Monkey King down, really push aggressively in, see if they can get another pick off.
I think so. I mean, this is the scary part about playing against TB, is at all times you always feel as though you're at some kind of weird timer.
Oh, this smoke actually is going to work here. Oh, no. Oh, the arrow's going to come in. It does manage to land on the Earth Spirit with the telekinesis follow-up. They're going to keep that Earth Spirit perma-stunned. And S4 takes so much magic damage, especially with the Maelstrom. Now RTZ, it's his turn. He's already used the Sunder. Won't be able to make it out. Rubik actually stealing the Sunder and tossing it right back at him with Reaper's Sight to cut him down. Now the follow-up. Fly blocked in by YapzOr as well. That was just too greedy from Evil Geniuses.
Just too greedy.
And now they may lose CCNC as well. He's going to get the Wukong's command into the Boundless Strike, and CCNC tries to get the Eul Scepter up, but he can't get out of that Wukong's command.
Man, he got obliterated.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that easy to kill him.
I mean, like, Midwan kept up his farm really well. He's got Echo Saber and Maelstrom.
It helps having the Midas go unpunished, and he set up on so many different kills. Mid one again is having a very beastly game.
When is that boy underperform? Doesn't ever really seem like it. Oh, okay. Cut down the tree. Don't really have the damage to follow it up so easily. In fact, if anything, he's going to just march forward, take on crit, thanks to the ever-present YapzOr telekinesis. That's going to be an early tier 3. So this is looking like it's just going to be a stomp one way for EG, stomp the other way for Secret. Missed the call. That's 4.
This was
just
so
as fast as
well
Bobby.
done by Secret.
Yeah.
Like
Playing forward telekinesis into Zai. They do have the Boundless Strike. And no Reaper's Scythe, though. So CCNC will be able to escape for now. They're going to be able to take the range Rex and back out.
Question is,
Dual
what do you get
Scepter.
out of this now?
They're just going to get Puppy. That's all they can get. Or maybe. Maybe they can actually get more crit. Manage to stall up Nisha a little bit, but as soon as that silence wears out...
He's out of leap charges.
Oh, he is out of leap charges. Another one's coming up in just 5 seconds' time. Kick, that's going to be dodged pretty easily by Nisha. Just has to get away from the pops of reflection, but BKB turn around. He's actually going to go for the kill. The Dragon Knight with a mid-one coming in from the side. Boundless Strike out, managed to cut down the tree, but it won't really save crit unless he can get a long roll away. Might just be able to. Fly's going to go down. Arteezy left by himself, and Reaper's Scythe. It finally came back up just in time to kill the Terrorblade and prevent a Sunder opportunity.
Ooh,
Crit,
the tip.
you just keep on stunning, but it's not gonna matter. Secret are going to take this game 2 pretty heavily unless CCNC can do something wild to change this. Tries to kill the creep wave before the TPN of Yapzor, but
The arrow
instead...
Dude, Nisha is so good. Oh my word. He has been a beast in this game.
So many great arrows.
He's played this, him and Min One, they're like tag team roam around the map. It somehow kind of worked out. And it also
Super
goes back
sick
to the
high tempo.
yeah, it goes back to the item choice by Mid One too to go for the Midas. It's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be off the map. I'm gonna be this kill threat at all times, and I just don't think that EG expected it. Like, how often do you feel like 2 cores, your 1 and 2 position, are just gonna go around the map? They're gonna say like, we're not gonna farm at all. We're just actually just gonna take fights.
Telekinesis again. They have so much catch. Ogre down.
It's a real one-sided game. I didn't think he
lanes
was
of
going to be
Rax.
that one-sided. Like, the top lane wasn't going that bad. The mid lane wasn't going bad. The bottom lane wasn't going bad. Like, you can make an argument that the top lane was a little bit rough, but you were still getting space and farm on TP, as reflected by the fact that he's still second in net worth despite being down 2 sets of racks. But like, the combination of those 2 heroes was just way too much.
Again, Yapzor. He's just always able to find the initiation, break something up. Now the jump in from Dragon Knight, immediately arrow. T's gonna go down. The LSA, not even enough to be able to come close to killing mid-one. They're gonna Boundless Strike CCNC. Now thinking about the Wukong's command, decides against it. They'll just run at these heroes instead. After all, Evil Geniuses can't really do a whole lot to mid-one. The call in is gonna be able to catch not a whole lot actually. Fly is able to bounce back, but Arteezy is, well, hoping his illusions can at least kill Nisha, and he does that much, but he has no support. There's 4 people dead. It's Arteezy just running away from Secret, hoping that they don't go for objectives, but also don't catch him. Boundless Strike, they have so much long-range initiation, though.
Executed. Zai gonna lay waste to his former teammate.
Well, Secret, they may have GG'd out, but this is Fly we're talking about. He's not going to let EG quit early. So they're going to buy back on the Terrorblade with the Lina coming up in 3 seconds' time. One last team fight for Evil Geniuses, it seems. Reflection leading things off. Yapzor thinking about making the initiation. Managed to get the call onto the Terrorblade. The follow-up here from CCNC needs to be able to interrupt this combo. The Metamorphosis goes down. Yapzor is dropping low. Also, the Necrophos may die, but he managed to get off the Ghost Trap before the damage came in from Arteezy. Now they'll call it, and it feels like it's been over for a while. The series will go to a Game 3.
No. 2-game series.
Ah, yes. So we're going to have a 1-1.
You sounded so confident.
I know, I
I didn't
forgot.
play you. Trent's dying right now. My man's is, you just slayed him. Yo, did you like my deadpan response to that? He said, nah.
Well, relatively like even series, I guess, in the fact that they were both stomps.
No one is a winner, but no one is a loser. In all ways, all things are equal.
I mean, do you walk away feeling good as either one of the teams?
I think you feel all right as both sides, because as I said before, that they didn't really have a lot of time to practice, because obviously one of their players is in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And so they were going to use this as kind of like a tune-up. I think they were also all a little bit burnt out after TI, so this will be like a nice check of your skill. And for EG, it's kind of similar, like, you know, we're using a stand-in, let's see what happens.
Right. All right, well, 1-1 for EG. Secret, we'll have to see if this actually comes down to a Game 3 later on in the tournament. But for now, we go to our panel.
Thank you very much, Captain Blitz. Yes, a win then for EG and for Secret. in the opening match. The Vesta one is split down the middle. And like the boys said, it was a bit of a stomp both ways. What did our panel make of it? Let's ask them right now, because we're back with Trent and Purge. Gents, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you've got good synergy, good threat level, meaning anything in Dota, does it?
There was some threat level that mattered. It was the Mirana versus the Lina. That one I felt a lot. The Nisha kind of just kept having these moments where it looked like I was disengaged coming, all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I got this one. He leaps in and goes for a kill. He kept doing that repeatedly. He really showed his skill that game, I think.
He pushed the advantage a lot.
A little bit of a whisper amongst some of the players and the talent, actually, that Nisha didn't really have a deep hero pool in terms of what he could play at the very pinnacle. A lot of people talk about his Terror Blade, a lot of people talk about Morphling. He's just shown his Mirana's pretty good as well.
Yeah, that was a stellar Mirana game. Like, just constantly getting kills, very active, which is really nice. I find, like, Mirana first started getting picked a lot of people were, like, falling into, like, the trap of just, like, Maelstrom and, like, farming a lot, whereas, why not just get the Maelstrom and still kill people? Those kind of builds, or just be very active around, so...
I would say that the most active player, though, is probably mid one, though.
Yep.
Like, his item build is interesting. He went, like, typical basic items, and then he's got a Midas, which felt weird. Normally, you're like, he's going to farm with it. But what he did was he just instead got active. And then he uses Midas to basically keep his farm level up while ganking constantly. So it's like, he was basically the guy that opened up the game in a big way. Because he was just constantly ganking top, ganking other lanes. That's stuff that you can't really predict, where somebody takes a hero and plays in such a weird style, and also maybe a weird itemization. Like the stat said, it was like the first Monkey King Midas in like 190 games. But that game, it made a lot of sense because he set up all the stuff for his team that pushed him into this stupid advantage.
And we talked about like the Earthshaker last game and how that's basically what he had to do, but he was limited by the cooldown. Monkey King doesn't have that problem. You don't really need your ulti for the vast majority of your kills. His ulti is very specifically for team fights, really, but pickoffs and everything, you don't need it, whereas for the Earthshaker, he had to dunk every time he wanted to kill someone.
Yeah, it was good display by mid one as well. Where do you feel Kevin EG went wrong with this one?
It just felt like they couldn't stabilize quite as much as they needed to, I guess. It also felt like their offlaner was a little behind at various points. There's a point where they pointed out, I don't remember what hero, I'm confusing all the heroes, but they just had a harder time in their safe lane. And then the other roaming, like it felt like their safe lane constantly got pressured and dove. And that felt hard for them to sustain against. And Ogre also kind of falls off at some point too. I think he was even maxing Ignite that game too. So it's like, unless you have Fire Blast, he doesn't burst as hard. And he's kind of like a lane winner. And if you don't get past that, then he's not the best support to have. So there's like a lot of issues that kind of cascaded together.
28 minutes and 41, game number 2, very similar to game number 1, but it's gone the other way this time. It is, of course, Secret winning game number 2. 44-11 in kills. Looks like it's a much more dominant performance in many ways as far as the scoreboard is concerned.
As far as 0-8 4, like he had a really tough lane.
Yeah, that's just a no game situation. I think it was a bit odd, right, where they had this Lina and DK picked together. I don't think they wanted them both to be cores. I feel like that wasn't like the ideal plan. It just seemed kind of unusual the way it all happened. But then they liked this idea of the Earth Spirit, I guess, versus the Monkey King. We've seen a lot of teams trying this, where it kind of slows down his mid game, because if you see him hopping between trees, you just pull the stone out from under it, he gets stunned. And he's always in these like precarious positions before he initiates. So I don't know if they were hoping to capitalize on that, but in the end, mid one just had way too dominant lane. He was level 8 when Dragon Knight was level 4. And whenever that happens between any two hero matchup, the game's pretty much over, because that person's going to take that level 8, go transition to fight the rest of your team, and what are you going to do when you're level 4? You're going to go sit under a tower and try and catch back up, and then the advantage just snowballs from there.
I think one of the other disappointing points in this game is obviously the performance of Crit. I mean, when you see her Spirit in the game, kind of like it's exciting because you know what his potential is on that hero.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to show that this game.
He needs friends. Earth Spirit is, he can't be a loner. He's a guy he's a very social butterfly. He cannot go around and just get complete solo kills by himself, and he had no friends that game. There's a TB, there's an underfarmed Dragon Knight, so it would just have to be Lina. Was the only way it was going to work, and that's maybe your stand-in, so it's a little harder to coordinate or something like that. But
and he's parked mid most of the time anyways, and just trying to go even with a Mirana, so harder for him to get on the map.
Yep. Tough game all round for EG. Not a tough game for our MVP, however, which was the Monkey King in this particular game. First Midas for 186 Monkey King games, and that's more than 9 months of pro play as well. And mid one is our MVP, not Arteezy.
They got it mostly right.
The rest of it's right. Just ignore the picture. It's fine. It's like saying I'm machine. It's fine. Kind of English, similar looking.
Close enough.
I jest, he's far prettier than I am. Other outstanding performances in that game?
Nisha, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you never really want to pick one player when it's Dota. That's the whole point, right? It's just a full team on effort. You never know who's even like picking what heroes, who's making what calls, which means we never know who's truly terrible. You never know. I
think movement-wise, mid one was clearly MVP, and overall I'd give it to him. But I think like individual play, like showmanship kind of stuff, I think Nisha did a lot more flashy things.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a point towards the end of the game when we were all, oh, there's no leaps. Now charge is running away, he's going to get caught. And then got the charge back in 5 seconds. We were like, oh, he's going to charge. Didn't go that way, he went back in.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, what are you doing? Initially, it looked a bit like, whoa. But actually, everything came together. It was very, very good play from him. Outside of that, do you feel like overall as a series trend, that's sort of okay for both teams? I mean, EG, they're notorious for starting bad at tournaments, aren't they? At least they've got a point on the board.
Yeah, I suppose that is the way it goes for them for the most part. But I think Will summed it up pretty well, right? You got one team with a stand-in, you got one team who hasn't played together, everyone's just trying to get their legs under them. It's good to go 1-1 because we know the bottom of the group is really bad. So no one wants to go 0-2. You know, you're bottom of the group, you're out of here. So don't be down there. So that at least they're stabilized.
There's only so many matches to play though, and if you barely miss that threshold, you're gone. And
it's true.
This could easily be that moment where they go back and, oh, we really should have won that game, but he got out of hand roaming on us or something. You know, like that could easily be the story in a day or two.
Okay, 2 one-sided games, obviously between EG and Secret. A man that went 5-2 and 26 on his Rubik in Game 2 is chatting to Sir Action Slacks. It's Yapsor.
Thanks a lot, Red Eye. I am here with Yapsor post-game on the EG series. Sir, pretty good game. How you feeling?
Good. It's always nice to recover from a bad game 1.
Yeah. Speaking of that game 1, what happened in that one? You guys seem to lost it pretty hard, and then you came back really strong in game 2. But what was the reason that game 1 went so awry? Is that the word? I'm not good at diction. A-W-R-Y?
Don't ask me.
What? All right. Why did that game go bad?
I think we weren't. I mean, we were prepared for the Wisp gyro, but we took a wrong approach, and it turns out what we had planned didn't work out that well.
Yeah.
So we decided not to try to do the same thing again, and we just banned it out, and we went for a different strategy.
Yeah.
So we went for a more comfortable one as well. So it worked out.
Can I ask what that strategy was, or you want to keep that secret? Like, was it the Centaur pick so you guys could run away, or?
I mean, it was a lot of things really. It was like more. I can't say much, but I could say like it was a lot like the Centaur, the A, mainly those two, not working as much as we intended them to.
Right.
So that's pretty much it.
All right, sounds good. Now I want to ask some questions just about you. You got Rubik on game 2. You're going absolutely bananas as always. Do you ever feel like once you get that pick, you're just invincible? There's nothing stopping you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a confidence hero for me, but it's more like right now in the patch, every position 4 is pretty garbage.
Yeah.
So if Rubik's actually being picked, that means everything else is just bad. So.
Okay, I agree. I hate Rubik's in my pub, so thank you. All right, last question. I'm terrified to interview your guys' new guy, Nisha, I believe his name is. I don't know anything about him. Can you give me something about him? Tell our audience and me a little bit of info about this dude.
I mean, we know nothing more than you do, literally. Like we even call him a ghost in the team. Like the guy is just completely missing, but he's always there. You know, like he's just always in the shadows.
That's some real Halloween kind of stuff there. Thank you very much. All right, well we got some nice info from Team Secret, and we'll see more about this Nisha character coming up soon. Thanks a lot. Back to you guys on the desk.
Bit of a ghost, apparently. He's not always there, and then he's always there. Apparently, that's what they call Nisha inside Team Secret. Who knew?
Very thematic. It's almost Halloween.
Some good. I think the interview was slightly awry, but other than that, it was good.
Yeah, things went awry, you could say. He was trying to figure it out. He was working real hard. You can see his little brain going. Some smoke coming out of the ears, I think, there.
Yeah, thesaurus, I think he was looking for. I think that was the word. There was one thing I want to pick up out of that interview, just for your quick thoughts before we head towards the break. Everything in position 4 is garbage right now.
Everything except Shaker.
I mean, you can remember the moment where position 4s were like amazing,
yeah.
right? And that was like when that first started. That was like a year ago, and ever since then, it's probably been like nerf all the 4 heroes. I was like, Sand Kings, get them out of here.
You can't, like, bounty runes are not individual anymore, so you
That's true.
couldn't just stack up your position 4. You have
No
to play in the
experience.
lane all the time now. Yeah, that's right. No experience on the runes.
Yeah. Is that part of the 2-1-2 as well that we've been seeing?
Yeah,
more?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you're shackled, you know?
Yeah.
That you're just thrown to your off laner and like, all right, now you gotta hang out with this guy for a while. No more roaming mid. Don't be doing that. No
Don't be more
experience in gold for
dynamic
you.
and- yeah, exactly. Stealing farm.
Very
and-
boring. So
Yeah.
It's definitely something that Yepster really excelled at too.
Yeah.
Was playing 4, being creative, moving around the map, making stuff happen.
Yeah.
He's more limited to his lane. So
Yeah, definitely more of an off-laner 4, wasn't he? That's for sure.
well, it helps when your team gives you the first 5 kills of the game every single game. That was pretty helpful for him.
Yeah, it's kind of okay. Right, we're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and when we come back, we'll move on to our second series of the day. It's an intriguing one as well, as we see how Europe's best, as far as qualifiers are concerned, go head-to-head with the staple of VG Gaming. It's Alliance versus VG after the break.